Action.
Hey guys, Pitmaster here. I'm here with my road dog, Dr. Jomes Kasper, with a K. And we're he's an orthopedic surgeon, by the way. And that's gonna go really well with our topic today, which is bones. So he's an orthopedic doctor, and we're dealing with bones. So they kind of go together. They mesh together. Kind of like a pediatric goes with kids, orthopedic goes with bones. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. How you doing?
I'm doing good, John. How you doing?
I was okay. It's kind of hot today. But anyway, okay, let's talk about bones. There's a lot of debate on street fighting. If you should ever close your hands in a fight, because everybody's scared of breaking their hands. They started the UFC without gloves, but everybody started breaking their hands, so now they have wraps and gloves. They used to have bare knuckle boxing, and everybody, do you know that the fights would last for, they'd last for like hours because there was no headshots. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
There's no headshots because it was bare knuckle, and as soon as they started hitting each other on the head, they'd break their hands. So they would just hit to the body really hard. So fights would last a lot longer, and there'd be hardly any broken hands, and that way there'd be no knockouts. So basically, a lot of fights end because the hand breaks. UFC has changed its whole format because of wraps and gloves, because everyone's breaking their hands. So in a street fight, how can we prevent our hands from breaking? Because I'll tell you what, pancrase is great, open hands, hammer blows are okay, but when two guys square up and it's a street fight, I'm not talking about a barroom fight or back alley fight. I'm talking about when you're defending your life and you're squared up against someone who's trying to take your head off. I think it is most effective to close your hands and start swinging. I don't think karate chopping is going to work as good, or tiger claw, or hammer blow, or tiger or crane's beak, or whatever. Have you ever seen the crane?
No.
Yeah, that's just one of the kung fu-ish.
The train.
But I say there's nothing better in a street fight, a boxing match, or an MMA fight than a fist.
Well, here's a good point too, is we can fix a broken hand. And no matter how strong your hand is, it may break. We see plenty of broken hands in the office from closed fist injuries, but we can fix them. So it's harder to fix a head injury. So, one of the things we see often is a hand injury. But the interesting thing that brought this up, and John asked me to come in, was, how can you make your bones stronger, or what makes it less likely that you would hurt your hand? And I know the martial artists have known a lot of this for a long time.
Yeah, we just didn't have a name for it. We knew that hitting the Makiwara, which I hit a lot of, but most people don't. And if UFC fighters did, there would be a lot less hand injuries in the sport. They'd be able to hit a lot harder with a lot more confidence. And in the street, if you hit the Makiwara, your bones will be stronger and denser, and it's all because of a certain law that we all know about, but we just haven't named it. And let me just tell you how we know about it before we go to explain it. Is, if you lift weights, your muscles get bigger. Do you know why? Probably not. You just know it happens. If you hit something all the time, the bones get harder. At least karate guys do. We don't know why, but there's actually a law in our bodies that makes that happen. What's it called?
It's called Wolff's Law.
Wolff's Law. Google it.
It's been...
Tell us about it.
It's a surgeon from over 100 years ago, but he noticed that bones got stronger in the direction of stress that they were exposed to. So not just get stronger in every direction, but they would get stronger specifically to what forces they were seeing. So Dr. Wolff described that, and described how bones actually could get stronger to resist that stress. So bones that see stress will get stronger. Bones that don't see stress will get weaker. So it's the opposite side of that as well.
So one thing that tells you guys is when you're hitting a bag, a heavy bag, which is made of cloth. There's cloth in there, guys. And you wear these heavy wraps with the big thick gloves, you're not building up any denser bones. So you can do that when you're training. That's a great way to train, but you should also as part of your training regimen, you should get in Makiwara, and we're going to talk about that at the end of this. I'm going to tell you all about it. And you should train with it. That should be a part of your training. Denser bones are as important to a martial artist as fast twitch muscle fibers are to a sprinter. What do you think?
Well, I think it's very true. And the stronger your bones are, the less likely you are to have a fracture if you do get into a situation where you have to use your martial arts. So.
And that is very true. And if you get into a fight, I say close your hands and go. If you break your hand, that's terrible, but it's better than getting knocked unconscious and being in a coma, right, with a subdural hematoma, breathing out of a tube in your throat. That you don't want that. It's better to break a hand, okay? But there are ways to make your bones harder and denser, and we're going to show you how to do that because I want everybody out there to be as safe as you can be. And one way you can be safer as a martial artist is to have denser bones. Not a denser head in your brain, like some people are really dense. No, I'm not going to tell anyone, like the guy holding the camera right now, I'm not going to say he's dense, because that would be rude. I'm not going to say that. But we want denser bones. There's no downside to denser bones, is it?
No, not at all. Not for us. So, and that's a big thing for us in medicine is how do we keep people's bone density up so they don't have all the problems we see later in life, like a broken hip, which is always because the bones have been weakened. So in martial arts, you want your bones stronger so if you need to use them, they don't break as easily. But at the same time, in medicine, we want people's bones stronger so they're not breaking their bones just from falling down.
So, you guys got it. That's the lesson of the day. Wolff's Law, number one. Number two, you want denser bones, and we're going to help you get them. Thanks for coming, guys. Hey, guys, the hands on my left, that's not my hand. That's somebody my exact age. And you can see it's not as white or dense. That means my hand, the one on the right, is a lot stronger. The bone is a lot denser. That means it will be a lot harder to break. I can hit things a lot harder without breaking my hand. And that's because I hit a Makiwara regularly. The guy on my left doesn't. So what I do with my Makiwara is I practice it 3 times a week, and I recommend you do at least once a week, up to 3 times a week. And I do it from, depending on my day, I do it from 5 to 10 minutes. Okay? 5 to 10 minutes. Start off soft, don't make really hard impact, but then work your way up. Okay? And the way I do it is I do 50 straight punches, then 10 hooks with each side. Then I'll do 50 straight punches, then I'll do 50 hammer blows with each side. Then I'll do 50 straight punches, then I'll do 10 heel hand strikes with each side. Okay? Then I'll go back to 50 straight punches, then 50 hooks with each side. And I'll just keep alternating this until the 5 minutes is up. Or if I have a little more time during the day, I'll do a 10-minute session. And not only do I find the Makiwara a great way to make my hands stronger, I've never had any major breaks in my hand. And I've had tons of fights with and without gloves. Chuck Liddell never broke his hands. I've had him working the Makiwara since he first started. He's never broke his hands. And we all know he hits pretty hard. So that's the way I do my Makiwara training. And I suggest you do it at least once a week. Add it to your training regimen because we all know the most important part of any punch is the fist.
No matter how hard you throw it, no matter how hard your shoulders are, you need a powerful, strong, dense fist. So hit the Makiwara, and you will have a better strike, okay? Like I said, at least once a week. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you get something out of it. If you need anything, please comment. And only you guys are getting this. This is for my members only. So if you need to contact me, please feel free to ask away. We're family. All right? Thanks for coming.